All right, so this is the 2017 Cadillac XT5, which replaces the SRX. And I thought I'd do another little headlight highlight here for a couple of reasons. Number one, this is using LED technology headlights, which I'm finding more and more are a little bit hit and miss depending on the manufacturers. Some of them just nail it, others don't. The other reason why is because if you're out test driving one of these and shopping for one, chances are you're going to drive it in the daytime, and you're not really going to get to see how the headlights work. So I thought I'd do you a little solid and sort of show you. So what are we looking at here? This is the low beams. We've got some reflective surfaces up the way there a little bit. And again, I'll remind you that the iris on this camera is actually knocking the brightness down something like about 20% compared to what I'm seeing with my naked eye. So I'll put a picture up here. This is a little bit more accurate representation of what it actually looks like. All right, so at a glance, the first thing you notice right up here in the foreground, this lighting is saturating the road ahead. You're not seeing splotches or dark patches that you're going to see typically with a halogen setup or even some xenon setup. So you've got a good saturation of light in the foreground. Peripheral. Again, remember that this camera is darkening slightly. I've got some peripheral illumination off to the sides. It's not tremendous. It's probably not among the best I've ever seen. I kind of wish there was a little bit more of it, but it's still pretty good. I'd have at least a little bit of notice if a large creature was planning to get in front of my car from the side of the road. The beam cutoff is not strongly defined. It's a fairly soft cutoff, and I mean, that's not really a big deal, but you might notice hours and hours into a late night drive that your eyes will fatigue maybe a tiny little bit faster without that, because when you've got a clean, sharp beam cutoff that's kind of the opposite of this, you find that your eyes are less stimulated and less fatigued because you've got light going kind of only exactly where it's needed and nowhere else. And finally, the color, and again, I'll put these pictures back up so you can see a little bit more accurately what it looks like. But clean, crisp white. This isn't, you know, looking dull or yellow at all. And what you'll notice after 2, 3, 4, 5 hours on the highway after dark is that when you've got this clean white color, your eyes are doing less work and straining less to see up the road. They're less stimulated and they will feel fresher for, you know, a longer period of time. So once this transport truck passes, I will put the camera outside, give you a little bit more perspective, and show you the best part about this lighting system, and that is the high beams. All right, so camera's outside now, a little bit more perspective. As soon as the tail lights disappear up there, I'll flick these high beams on so you can see. Now watch for reflective surfaces far up the road here when I turn these on. You're seeing an entire bend in the road, an entire sort of array of reflective signs with these on that you're not seeing with them off. Really good engagement of those reflective surfaces up the road. And so I think, to me, that means that the high beams are the most compelling part of this lighting system. So end of the day, I mean, I wish the beam cutoff was maybe a little bit sharper, and I wish there was maybe a little bit more peripheral illumination. That would make this lighting system perfect, but ultimately this is pretty good. And if you're someone that's going to be out and about after dark, driving your XT5 when the sun's gone down for extended periods of time, I think you'll find this lighting system will do you really well.